What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I'm here at the Red Brick House. I did not know that they were calling for snow this evening. We had so much rain that had fallen earlier today, and it was actually kind of warm. Hard to believe. And my brother-in-law was here for the game, and my wife went to take him back home, and she opened up the door and she said, "It's snowing outside." I was like, "Are you kidding me? Seriously?" It's like, yeah, it's snowing outside. And it's coming down pretty good, and they said it's going to snow till about 4 a.m. So for about the next 4 hours. And the way it's sticking to the grassy areas and stuff, we may actually have some real snow here by tomorrow morning. It's kind of fitting because you guys know, and I hope I'm not driving any of you guys crazy about it, but my buddy Rashid passed away the day before Thanksgiving and was cremated on Thursday. And Rashid said something that was really, really poetic, or really kind of crazy. He said, if the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl, I'm going to root for them. And he said that first, I want to say the first time was when he was in the hospital. And I feel like the snowstorm is, like I said, maybe I'm just crazy, but I feel like this win is so franchise changing. All of the things that they said about the Dallas Cowboys, they have been basically checked off the list. They said Dak Prescott can't beat good teams. Even a Cowboy fan of mine, Derek. And Derek, I've been slaying you, buddy. I've been talking so much smack on you. But you were the one that sent me that email this morning that said, well, Dak Prescott, against teams with 10 plus wins is blah, 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 blah. And only Kirk Cousins and Pat Mahomes versus their wins against losing teams, that the differential is, and it was like, that is the craziest bullshit. How hard did they have to work to come up with that kind of stat? Well, the Eagles, this early in the season, had 10 wins and 2 losses. Now, they got 10 wins and 3 losses. The Seattle Seahawks last week, they had a winning record when we took care of them before. They ended up being 500. Now we're actually depending on the Seahawks to maybe beat the Eagles. But the Eagles, I got to give them a shout out because I almost feel like Eagle fans knew this week was coming. Philly 500 did not act like he thought they were going to win the whole night. He did not melt down at all. It was like he knew all week long. When Philly has been talking shit to me all off season, all season long, sending me pics and telling me how bad the Cowboys were sucking and everything else, it was like this week he knew that the Cowboys were going to be the better team today. Shout out to you, Philly 500, for being realistic, I guess, going into this game. The nice thing is it'll be quiet. We won't have to worry about Eagle fans much this week. Maybe the next couple of weeks, because now the pressure's on them. They can win out and end up winning the division, but I'm not going to put it past the Giants at this moment. The Eagles are a wounded team. San Francisco, shout out to you guys because you put a whipping on them that I don't know that they're going to recover. And I have to give a shout out actually to Buffalo, who started the whole process, and I think the Cowboys just finished them. They are going to question themselves and their mental toughness. So when I look at this snowstorm that is coming down that wasn't really predicted to happen here, it was just going to be rain, I feel like this is snow coming down to cleanse this Cowboys team. to start anew this Cowboys team. And maybe it's Stewart and Rashid up there. But I've said that things feel different about this Dallas Cowboy team. We can put away the Dallas Cowboys, what they did all these other years before this year. I know people will say, well, it's just a regular season. We'll see when the playoffs come. Well, I'll tell you what. Right now, as I look at the teams in the NFC, it's San Francisco and it's the Dallas Cowboys. You can't look at the Eagles and say that the Eagles team has actually played good all season. They've been winning to their, they beat the Commanders twice, but the Commanders scored 31 on them. They lost to the Jets. They've lost to the Cowboys, lost to San Francisco. And like I said, I don't know that they're going to recover. But as you look around the NFC, the Detroit Lions lost to the Bears today. To the Bears. You look around, the NFC South, Saints, Falcons, does it matter? You look at the NFC North, like I said, the Lions, they lost. And the Eagles, they're beat up. And they're not the same team. So I'd say the Cowboys have as good a chance as anybody. Now maybe the Cowboys get lucky and the Eagles do lose to Seattle or lose to the Giants. Well, I think my hair is covered in snow right now. We'll see. But it doesn't matter because the Cowboys have now proven that they are a good team and it's not just feasting on bad teams. So as we go through tonight, we start talking about game balls. You have to look at Micah Parsons having the flu, getting his 12th sack, now having 12 or more sacks in his first 3 seasons, that the list of the people who have done that are Micah Parsons and Reggie White, and he did it with the flu. He came out there, he literally, he got a penalty for it, but he let Lane Johnson know. He set the tone. Bro, you may think you're my daddy, but this man has grown up. He went through Lane Johnson, with Lane Johnson holding on him to get that sack. That is a true defensive player of the year. He gets my game ball there. For the defense as a whole, they played fantastic. That defense only gave up 6 points. They did not allow Philly's offense to get into the end zone. And Stephon Gilmore, that's the best 5th-round pick trade that we've ever had. That guy was an absolute positive beast. A.J. Brown, from the time the Cowboys played them back in before when we lost, A.J. Brown ain't been the same dude. A.J. Brown was getting 125 yards a game. And now, he still gets a good catch here and there, but he ain't the same guy. He ain't the difference maker that he was. And that defense, they came through. I hope Hankins is going to be okay, but now it's a chance for Mozzie Smith to be the next man up and to work on that team. But that defense, that defensive front, they were in there. Osa Ndigazua is a beast. He is having an incredible season. You have to give him a game ball. But overall, the defense did not allow them to score. So shout out to my defense and Dan Quinn calling the game. Now let me say, Brandon Albury has not missed a field goal in the NFL. Quite honestly, I think you should be putting and looking at him as the offensive player of the year or possible MVP candidate. Dude kicked 3 field goals, 50 or plus, including a 60-yarder and a 59. Our special teams played lights out. They and Brandon Albury get a game ball. My quarterback, Dak frickin' Prescott. Any of you that still don't believe in Dak, well, you can kiss my high yellow ass. Before this game, during my early live stream, I said, Cowboys, I need you to win this game for me, damn it. I'm sick and tired of every single day talking about the Dallas Cowboys and taking shit for it. I need for Monday to be a big day for this Dallas Cowboy team. I need you guys to step in and stomp these cockroaches out. And damn if you guys didn't. Dak Prescott. There were a couple times where he could have been intercepted. He did have the fumble, which was the lone touchdown for the Eagles. But still, almost 300 yards, 2 TD passes. And it should have been more because we had some great passes that were dropped. Great passes. That offense, they did the trick. Dak Prescott, damn if you ain't getting another one. CD Lamb. CD is that dude. CD, and it's getting cold, it's cold out here. CD, who for a while there, I really need to get a fire pit set up out here because this is cold. I mean, this is really cold. CD, who early part of the season was getting 50 or less yards per game, CD has become that dude. Almost like Deebo Samuel's, just not quite as physical. He is running the ball and making yards, and he's catching the ball everywhere on the field, in the slot, down deep, on the sidelines. He is becoming the ultimate weapon behind Tyreek Hill. And I believe he is second. I have to check the numbers. I think he's second in yards, in receptions. CD, I love the season that you're having, bro, and I hope you get paid bigly. Brandon Cooks is still making great catches and has come along where we first 4 weeks of the season, people are like, why did we sign Brandon Cooks? Dude has become a beast. Michael Gallup had some early drops, but recovered and had some key ones and had the pass interference. Definitely came along and did some good things. But Mike McCarthy came out in this game and changed shit up. Now, Kellen Moore, who we're looking at the Chargers, basically about to fire everybody. I think Kellen Moore should be part of that too. Justin Herbert now has a fractured finger, and Kellen Moore's offense has become ass. It shows that Kellen Moore needs Dak Prescott more than Dak Prescott needs Kellen Moore. But here's the thing. You had Mike McCarthy come out and run the football to set up the pass. Looks like I'm about to run out of fuel in here. He ran the ball to set up the pass. And that offensive line did the job. Even with all of the crazy calls, Biotis being called for a crackback in the cracks a crack block in the clipping zone. Seriously? I haven't seen that called in forever. Seriously. So my offensive line, I gotta get some more fuel. Hold up. My offensive line, they get a game ball. Wow. I don't remember the last time we had this much snow. I need to wait for the fire to finish completely before I put some more in there. I don't remember the last time we've had this much snow, or I've seen this much snow. It's been a couple of years. Okay. All right. Now watch, my lighter's wet and won't fire back up. There we go. All right, we're back on. And the side light went out. Maybe. Okay, it won't. Oh, there it goes. Mike McCarthy, who has become an incredible play caller with the help of Brian Schottenheimer. I told you guys that Brian Schottenheimer, when he was the offensive coordinator with Russell Wilson had the best year of his career. And between the two of those guys getting together and finding things and making Dak Prescott work with this Texas Coast offense, where now everything is like 1, 2, 3, boom. And that's where a lot of times, guys, you don't understand. You'll say, oh, Dak threw a bad pass. You have to understand this offense is predicated on getting the ball out of the hands quickly so you don't get the sacks. Now, time to time, Dak Prescott buys more time and he's looking for the big play and things like that. But more times than not, this is like 1, 2, 3, fire the football. And that's where you're not throwing to the guy, you're throwing to a spot where the guy's supposed to be, and sometimes there's miscommunications in there. But they have gotten this thing down pat. But Mike McCarthy came out to run the football first and set the tone. And that offensive line was literally running through the heart of the Philadelphia Eagles defense, right up the middle with Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle had a really good game. And Tony Pollard, instead of trying to have him as the guy running up the middle, they started really using him on the outside and screen passes and running outside, and he started getting more and more confidence. You have to now all of a sudden feel better that the Cowboys are running the football better, that the offense tonight was more balanced than it had been, that Dak Prescott is looking like an MVP. And the defense, hey, you held the defending NFC Championship team to 6 freaking points. And now they are questioning themselves. They don't feel good about themselves. I can tell you that right now. Yeah. And let me give my final game ball to Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones, who finally was man enough to admit that he made a mistake in putting Jimmy Johnson into the Ring of Honor. I feel like that change is the change for the Dallas Cowboys. I believe in karma. I believe in doing the right thing. And Jerry Jones has been doing the wrong thing for so long when it came to Jimmy. And finally, he has done the right thing. I don't know how this season's going to end, but for once, I feel like we're not limping into the playoffs. Tuesday is Rashid's memorial service. The family has asked me to read the eulogy for Rashid. And I wish he were here. Tomorrow night the Giants play, and I will, for the rest of this season, in honor of my good friend, be a Giant fan. I appreciate you guys very, very much. I had some things going on behind the scenes today that made it a hard day. And hopefully I can get those things resolved. But I'm going to say, enjoy this win, but this is not everything that we're looking for. We still have a long ways to go. I thank you guys for being here and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. And I ask you, I beg of you, remember to tell the people you love them. Because you might not get the chance again, and I love you guys. God willing, I'll see you guys tomorrow.